There's this quote from like Peter Griffin on Family Guy, and he's like, "Fine, you want to hurt me? Well, you know what? That's okay, because I love me. My friends like me. I love who I am." It's like, yeah, that's. I feel the same way. It's like I love me. I'm a fun guy.
Yeah, dude.
I was not put on this earth to please people. I was put on this earth to do a lot bigger things, and if you like me along the way, cool.
I was put on this earth to please myself.
You only get one life. You only get one life, and it's yours. It's nobody else's.
Season 3, episode 15 with Zach Molzer. We're at the CREI Summit. We accidentally got here from a Spaces call with this man right here across the street.
Yes, sir.
We
Is that why you guys came?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty much the call that set it off, because we were chatting with you, and I guess Ken showed up, and Coy was there, everybody, and I was like, we were just kind of half joking, like, hey, we'll bring our podcast gear.
Yeah.
Set it up. And
That's crazy.
Next thing you know, like just yesterday, I was texting my friend, like, hey, can I crash at your place in Charlotte? Because we didn't even know if we had a room tonight.
I didn't either. Shout out to Ken. So I stayed with my buddy last night. I flew into Atlanta.
Yeah.
Stayed with my buddy down here, and then I was like, I thought I booked a hotel for tonight and tomorrow, and Ken was like, no, you didn't. I was like, damn. All right, well, let me know if you guys can get me a hotel. If not, like, it's fine. I'll stay with Matthew. And he hooked me up. He got me covered up here, so I literally just came in. My luggage is sitting right next to me, and got floor plans and everything. Molzer development hats ready to roll.
I saw I couldn't help but notice the little roll of paper in there. It looks a lot like floor plans.
It is a lot of floor plans.
So yeah, we're at CREI Summit, and Zach Molzer here. Obviously, the Kansas City legend, and I guess you just did a podcast with them, and then you recently were like, I want to do more of these.
Yeah, I did a podcast with Building Kansas City. It's a smaller podcast right now. I think it'll get some more traction, but yeah, I mean, I'm obviously born and raised in Kansas City. I love it. I'm developing there. Want to do a lot. I got a podcast in college, and I liked it. I've always wanted to start my own, but I really don't want to start my own because I don't have the time. I was showing my buddy, we were on the golf course earlier. I was like, dude, look at my screen time. It's like 12 hours a day. That's not including my laptop as well. So I am constantly on my phone. I'm constantly running and grinding, working. I don't have time to run a podcast, but whenever I can get aside and get the chance to talk about what I'm doing and who I'm grateful for and all the partners I have along with me along the ride, I'd love getting on podcasts.
What does the average day look like for Zach Molzer?
Oh my God. Every day is so different. Literally every day. I mean, people ask me that all the time. Like, I have friends from high school be like, hey, it's like, what do you do every day? I'm like, dude, you don't even know. I was literally in the Uber right here on a call with the city manager and my attorney for 35 minutes the whole way here.
Yeah, really?
And it was not a good conversation. It was good. It was good. Don't get me wrong. But like, it was not the city manager, my attorney, and then one of my partners talking about a bunch of its incentive stuff and yada, yada. But yeah, it was not great. And the Uber, we ended up hanging up, and the Uber's like, dude, you good back there? I was like, no, I'm not good, but I'm here, so life's great. It's like, damn, you sound stressed. He goes, man, I hate politics. I was like, yeah, I do too now.
Yeah.
That's all development is, huh? Politics.
That's all it is. That's all it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I've known development. I've known that. I mean, I don't act like I know everything, which I clearly don't, but I did not know how political development is. Even in a project like what I'm doing, it is, in my opinion, there should be no politics about it. It's cut and dry. It's easy. It is not easy, but you know what I'm saying? There should be no bickering about it. It should be like, oh my God, someone's doing that? That's great. Nope. That's not like that. Everything is so political. Even when it comes to building housing, that is much needed.
It happens even at the smallest levels. One of the earliest lessons in business I ever learned is as soon as the money shows up, everybody just goes haywire. Like, it could be $100.
And like, people are like, I've been talking with different incentive structures and yada, yada. It's like, guys, I'm not going to get rich off my first project. That's not what it is. The first project is about building your name and making everybody else around you money. That's what it's about. I have a fiduciary responsibility to the 35 different LP investors that I have on this deal to make them money. And the whole goal of this project is build a gorgeous building, a product that renters and even people, friends of renters, want to go and visit because it is just a badass place to live in a great location right in the heart of downtown Kansas City. But more importantly than that even is to make people that trust me with their funds, make them money. Money will come later. It will. I mean, there'll be different projects that are better for me, better for investors, yada, yada. But the first one, name any developer that did one project and they retired. That doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's trust is a huge thing in the industry. No matter where you go, is building that trust, and it's kind of how you have to start. and you got to keep going that way. You can't let go of that. Everybody's got to believe in you every step of the way, whether you have 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. As soon as you lose that, then it's game over. And
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about tomorrow at the summit when I'm speaking. Is talking about how being transparent and authentic can help build trust and leverage relationships to further opportunities for deals. I mean everything.
Yeah, there's two. I won't cite the nerdy research, but there's really two fundamental things in any given construction project that matter, and trust and experience, basically.
And that's why the team that's behind me is, trust me, I'm the young buck. The team that's behind me, between our architect, our GC, all of our consultants, they're the best of the best. That's what it is. That's why we've been able to get done what we've gotten done over the past under 100 days, and it's absolutely mind-boggling. What we've done in 100 days normally takes about 8 months to a year.
Who are you working with?
On what?
On the architecture.
So Jeff Schutzler is at Pluribus. He was over at Helix, and Kansas City-based architecture firm for 20 years.
Yeah.
Went out and started his own firm. Jeff is a godsend. I mean, I could not be more excited to partner with Jeff on this project and dozens, hundreds more over the next 4 or 5 decades.
Yeah.
I love Jeff. Jeff is awesome. Callie Buchanan is doing our interior design. She and Aaron are just absolute killers. What they've put together, they've really embraced the idea of what we as a development team wanted, and putting that pen to paper in a sense of, hey, Callie, I don't know like design stuff, but I really like dark green tile. I just do.
I saw that. That does look
Yeah,
sweet.
I love that. I think it's
Yeah.
cool. And to have the developer talk about that and then have her go in and say, hey, by the way, Zach, go through all the floor plans and be like, hey, the 16th floor, I think you like the bathroom. Show us the bathroom, and yeah, it's dark green tile throughout everywhere, and it, just things like that where we could provide input. I think most of the time designers kind of take over the project, mostly because the developers aren't fully engaged because they have a lot going on, and that's normal. But I think that's the unique part about this project where me and my partners, we're all in. I mean, we're there every step of the way. I can't wait for construction to start because I'm going to be there following around every single person there with a notepad.
Well, it sounds like you're just ready to, I know you're 23.
Yeah.
And so it's just amazing what you've been able to accomplish. I'm sure you hear that all the time, but also that what comes with that being younger is just like the willingness to just stay learning. And that's just something that no matter where you are and how much you know, that approach, what is it in Taoism? They call it the uncarved block.
Yep.
Like the moment, or you're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. Like you have to continue to find a way, even if you have 10 years, 20 years experience, to stay a student all the time. And that's
Always be learning.
I mean, it's honestly what we're doing here. We're engineers. We're MEP engineers. You know what I mean? At a CRE summit full
Somehow.
of brokers.
You guys will get all pumped about what I'm doing for our building. Holy.
I know you talk about 4 pipes and all that good stuff. You're doing like a chilled water and boiler plant.
Yeah, so we're gutting it out. So the building got renovated in '86. Didn't work. 2006 clearly didn't work. I get into the window situation with how they're all covered with the bathrooms, yada yada. But ever since the building opened, if it was over 80, 85 degrees in Kansas City, your room is 80, 85 degrees.
It's called value engineering.
Yeah, you'd love that one.
They did a very bad job VEing it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
What needed to be done in that building, so it's a very narrow footprint. It's 65 feet wide, and it's 150 feet long. It's a narrow building.
Wow.
106,000 square feet, 16 stories, 17 stories if you count the attic/roof in a sense. No real alley, nowhere to put anything. I mean, we'll have a DOAS in the basement. That's
Shout out to Doaz.
Yeah.
We'll have a DOAS in the basement that is going to be extremely fun to get in there. That's funny. It'll be fun to get in there, to say the least. They're going to have to build it in the room where it's going.
Yeah. They can do them like they can bring them in parts and fabricate it.
We're going to have a air handler on the 16th floor underneath our green dome that will bring outside air through the building and back out. So right now it acts as a cooling tower. It brings air from the 17th floor down a vent shaft into the corridors and into the units with VRF systems, and that gravity defines that as not working. I mean, yeah, let's take air from top of the building, which is the hottest. Let's shove it back down the building.
Yeah, got to cool it down, make it heavy, I guess.
Yeah, that would work well. That shows you how people thought back in the 80s, though. So that will become our outside air system, and then we're going to run a 4-pipe system. So underneath Wyandotte Street, which is the street right out in front of us, is chilled water and steam through Vicinity subsidiary of the city in a sense. It comes from the city.
The city provides chilled water and steam.
Kind of.
Sounds like
So,
Dubai, right
yeah,
in the Middle East.
kind of. So Vicinity is not with the city of Kansas City, Missouri. They're a subsidiary. They're their own independent company. However, the water and stuff that they get from is from the river, which is from the city. They have their own plant down in the river market. It's complex. For lack of a better term, when I talk to most people about it, I just say it's the city's water. I say, oh yeah, the city's providing it. This is way easier. We'll run chilled water, steam. Steam already runs in the building right now. We'll run chilled water in the building. We're taking out a back elevator shaft. Taking out that elevator. Our 4-pipe system will run all the way up 16 floors through that elevator shaft, down the corridors, split off on every unit. There's 9 units per floor, and it will split off there to service our HVAC system for all the units.
You know, if your architect or engineer wants to do a podcast with us, let us know. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd love to. They are Jeff, and so our MEP is Langford Fendler, great group out of Kansas City. They've been a blast to work with as well. I mean, I can't touch on it enough. The fact that I have 75% building drawings done, I have a Part 1 for historic tax credits submitted and approved. I have a state Part 2 approved, so SHPO approved our Part 2 already. We have our construction financing term sheet signed. We already have our bridge lender for historic tax credits, our state and federal buyers. I mean, it's in 100 days. That's psychotic, honestly.
That's insane.
I mean, we're going to be able to start as soon as we get our Part 2 signed and on the dotted line. We should be able to start demo by the middle of October, and we close on the building on May 30th. That's crazy.
We still got to find a way to get out there and actually do an episode there, which I think would be awesome. Like this.
There's plenty of cool. Trust me, this is cool. This ambiance is awesome. I mean, I haven't even explored the hotel yet. You can see my bags right there.
Showed up.
But I'm excited to come through this. But I'll tell you what, the views, the different spots that we can set up there at the Aladdin is crazy. I mean, all the different things over the past 4 months to being able to uncover of like, why did they do that? Is awesome for us being able to go back and completely redo it. People are like, why are you spending all this money redoing it? It's because you do it once. You do it once and you do it right. The past 2 owners didn't do it right. Not to say they did it bad, but they just didn't do it right. So yeah, we're gonna go through. We're gonna gut it. We're gonna redo everything. All new electrical, fire suppression, plumbing, HVAC, elevators, windows, door. I mean everything. It'll be all brand new. But you do it once because it's historic tax credit eligible. You get 45 cents on the dollar to do so. Yeah. And I want to prove out the concept of, hey, this works. This is a missing middle market that Kansas City needs. And frankly, I think we need it everywhere. It's a missing middle, especially in Kansas City, that is going to work. But the quality is not going to match what the normal missing middle is. It's going to be 10 times above that. And that's why I know it'll be an extreme success for our investors, as well as any individual that ends up living there.
What keeps you up in the middle of the night when you think about it, the project?
You know what's scary about that is nothing.
Really?
We have, I mean, knock on wood, there's been some hiccups along the way. I mean, there's obviously with everything, there's problems and yada, yada, but I mean, nothing. We have a 20% contingency. I mean, we're sitting fat. We're in a good spot.
Engineers like that.
I love that.
Everybody tries to plan on a 3% contingency.
For an adaptive reuse.
No, we've got a lot. I mean, when you open up the walls for an old building, you know that there's going to be something, right? I don't know if it's mice or I don't know if the building's going to collapse.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah, you just don't know.
There's mice and buildings collapsing on the mice.
At the end of the day, there are 3 things that could jeopardize the project in a very bad way, and all of those have been remediated to an extent. Obviously, there's still risk with everything. Any investment's still a risk. Have to say that. Thank you, Mr. Attorney.
Yeah. Always got to put the disclaimer at the bottom of the thing.
But seriously, there's 3 things with the Aladdin project that are like, okay, that would be bad. Elevators. We're replacing all of them. We have 4 elevators currently. 3 of them don't run. We got 1 of them up and running, and it's good. Load test is all solid. Yeah. We're going back and we're tearing out. Obviously, the rear elevator will become the MEP chase. There's 2 small traction elevators in the front of the building. Those are both going to get taken out, completely gutted, and it's 1 single shaft. And we're going to go back with a larger elevator, 1 cab. It'll be brand new. A lot of money. Great. That eliminates that problem. And the elevator that's running and working now, that's a brand new cab as well. That was put in 2019. So good there. Elevators remediated to an extent. Next is the mechanical stuff, right? Plumbing, HVAC, fire suppression, and electrical. Electrical, good. We obviously have been going through the building for a long time, and when we first bought it, 80% of the doors were locked, beds made, towels folded. I mean, you couldn't get into a lot of the rooms just because there was so much stuff everywhere.
How'd you get? Did you have to hire a locksmith to come hack them in, or just?
No, I've got a foot, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I just kicked him in. I mean, I bought the thing. I was like, all right, well, we're replacing the doors anyway. Let's just kick them in.
Might as well have some fun doing it. Get some anger out.
I want to have a paintball war at the Aladdin before we start actual demo. I think that'd be fun.
I'm in.
But in the basement, there was this room that we couldn't get into, and I was like, we all thought that it was an electrical room. We assumed that's what it was, because at the time we only found one panel that was about 1,500 amps, and we were like, well, there's no way in hell that services the whole building. Sure enough, we opened the thing up. We got 6,000 amps, brand new. Put it in 2018, 2 years before it closed down. So they spent some coin putting that thing in there.
Wow, 6,000 amps.
6,000. So we have 7,500 amps running in the building, and it's going to be 122 units. So we have more than enough power to.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot.
If that's 3 phase, you're good.
You able to get your hands on a meter, like a meter stack, traditional?
So that is a wonderful conversation that we can dive into in a little bit. That's we'll get in deeper.
Lead times. Yeah.
We will be doing a master meter structure at the Aladdin.
Okay.
Again, when you talk about the footprint of the building, there is no possible way to individually meter the building for the units. There's not enough room. The project wouldn't work from a feasibility standpoint. For the only possible way to do it is you're putting 9 meter banks per floor on the floors. So you lose a unit then. So technically now you're only going with 8. So then you have 109 units. It wouldn't work. It would destroy the whole project.
Yeah, at 16 stories, you start to get into things like bus duct up the entire.
It's not even that. It's purely where the hell do I put 122 meters?
And bus plugs, which I'll never be able to be mature enough.
Yeah, we just can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
So the footprint would be too much all the way up the core. That would take up too many apartments. That would break the deal. Is that what you mean?
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
This damn MEP, man.
Well, it was funny. Yeah, we had an energy company out there, and they're like, oh, we need an energy meter if you're spending X amount of money. Well, and we're like, all right, like, we're open to whatever. Can you show us where you put it? And they're like, oh, I don't think it fits here. I was like, yeah, I know it doesn't fit here. Look at this building. They're like, wait, do you guys have the building? What if you buy the building next door and do that there? All right, cool. You want to pay for that? That'd be great. It's a good idea. But I'm not paying for it.
You know what it kills me is every time I see a building that has an elevator shaft that goes up first, and nobody ever gives us an electrical room like right on that wall. This is like the perfect room for a utility riser. It's basically on the wall of the short side of your elevator shaft. Just put a closet right there for utility.
That's what we have.
Really?
Yes. So getting back to what we have in the building that could be risk. Electrical, great. I mean, we have that. It runs into the building and it runs all the way up to the corridor. So once it gets into the corridor of every floor, that then from there forward is all brand new. But obviously everything's running up through there. And then the last thing is HVAC. The HVAC, there are 2 or 3 companies that I would trust in Kansas City to even run a 4-pipe system. The great news is with Vicinity is that they are going to get all of the stuff into the building. They're going to bring in all the transfer plates. They're going to bring in the chilled water. They're going to make sure everything's set up and ready to go. So when my MEP coordinates with our HVAC technician, they can run it vertical. So it'll all be in there, ready to go, run it vertical. I mean, I think HVAC alone is over 10% of our budget for hard cost, and it's MEP combined is probably. I mean, I'm spitballing here, but 40% of our budget. I mean, it's all new. It's all new.
All right, y'all. Let me take a quick break. 40%. That's why you got to call a nerd like us.
Yeah, at least 1/3.
If you at least are an X, give us a DM before you go too crazy on whatever's happening. If it's we've been saying 1/3, 40%, it can easily be.
Well, especially an old building like this. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
I mean, kids, I don't want air conditioning. Well, all right.
Yeah, you have to.
The building right now is run on box fan units in the windows. Like,
Here's what I've been telling everybody as a pro tip. The one thing to ask anybody who's trying to make a recommendation for your HVAC, they doesn't matter if they have 20 years. This is the question you ask to know if they know what they're talking about. Hey, would you mind giving me the psychrometric analysis? I want to just have my engineer take a look at it. I love your idea. Right. So if they're giving you a VE option, just like psychrometric, it's a weird, nerdy HVAC word. That word, ask them. Play dumb. Say, I'm going to give my engineer, I love the idea. I think it's a great one. I think he'll be on page with you. But if they give you a 10,000-mile stare, because they've never heard that word in their life, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Well, it's funny with the Aladdin, we were walking through, and we had one group walk through. They're like, oh, yeah, well, why don't you just do a cooling tower on 16? I was like, all right, let me take you up there. Took them up to 16, and they look over at me, they go, hey, ain't fitting fucking cooling tower up here. I was like, I know, so I showed you it. Funny enough, the only thing that works at the Aladdin is a 4-pipe system, maybe a 2-pipe, but then if you're gonna spend the money, do it right. It's the most prolific and efficient system that money can buy, especially if you're gonna get the help of people getting it in there, getting the infrastructure in there. They're all for it. I mean, we're paying them a lot every year to pay for their water. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that really works there. That 4-pipe system needed to be installed in the Aladdin in 1980. They didn't do it because they decided to go a different route. Clearly didn't work. And that's why, again, we're going to go back and we're going to do it right.
Well, I mean, when you have a footprint like that, that's a good use case for water to transfer mass of heat. You know, water can do a lot with thermal mass transfer in a small amount of area of the pipe, without getting too nerdy for the CRE audience out here. But like, that's a great use case, because if I were to pitch chilled water for some standard building that's single story or whatever,
That's stupid. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense.
like, what the hell? But in this case, where you're compressed here and you're highly vertical, that makes a lot of sense, because you can transfer a lot of heat in and out of that building through water, and so yeah, that's a good decision.
And
Shout
more
out to the
importantly,
engineers.
we have the shafts to do so. You know, if we already have an elevator shaft that's big enough to put any size pipe. Hell, if we need to run a 10-inch pipe up there, we could. Obviously, a 4-pipe's not, but yeah. I'm just saying, hypothetically. God, if we had to run a 10-inch pipe, I think I'd have bigger problems. I think my budget would go a little different way. But I'm just saying, yeah, if you had to run a huge pipe, you can. That elevator shaft, it's an elevator, and you're not going to fill up the whole thing. But it's also great from a futuristic standpoint of, there's obviously going to be newer things. We're going to be holding on this building forever, where I hope in 20, 30 years, there's better and more prolific systems that we can then reinstall. And I have room in that elevator shaft to, again, as a chase to, all right, well, just run it through there.
You know,
I love that. You don't get that a lot.
Oh, yeah, no
extra
way.
space, a dedicated shaft to run
No,
an
and that's what we're
MEP
doing.
system.
We could block it off right now, and we could make that a trash chute. And I was like, hey, no, we're not doing that. We'll do valet trash. Let's leave that space open. So when things change, when things get more technologically advanced, that's when we do that, because that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Again, the building's been around for 99 years. I'm going to own it till I die, and hopefully my kids will own it, and the rest of my partners, same thing with them. But why not have that extra space? Like you said, there's never really extra space, especially when you talk about a building that is like 55 square feet or 55 foot wide and 150 foot deep. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a little building in a sense. It's very skinny. It's tall. It's gorgeous, but it's not a whale by any means.
Yeah, 55 feet. Definitely, you know, when you said that out loud, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, but now when I think about the pictures of it, it is tall and narrow.
It's tall, narrow, and skinny. I mean, we're on, I think, 0.18 acres.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it zero lot line?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
We got a shared alley, kind of, with an easement, but not. I mean,
what is the parking, I guess, situation out there? Is there a local
we have an
parking?
underground tunnel that connects to Barney House Plaza, which is across the street. That is a $120 million redevelopment that the city's doing. That'll be an open green space, dog park, couple different retail spaces for restaurants, a town pavilion. It's pretty sweet, with an underground 600 stall parking garage. So we are one of 3 buildings that have a underground tunnel that connects to it.
Underground tunnel.
That's
Shout
pretty
out to
crazy.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. What is that called? The boring company out there getting people from California straight to Kansas City. What is so let's backtrack a little bit. Like, what kind of deals were you working on before this, and you know what brought you to this deal?
I was working with the owner operator developer down in Kansas City. All of our deals though were down in Tulsa. We were doing.
It's my family's from.
All right, yeah. Tulsa's on definitely the up and up.
Yeah.
I'm bullish on it. I don't want to do deals there right now, but definitely still bullish on it. We were doing 2 different facets, mostly just straight value add multifamily projects. Buy an existing asset that maybe isn't performing well, go and do full gut renos, yada yada. We did an adaptive reuse of an independent living facility, converted to apartments. So we bought the independent living facility, emptied it out, gutted the building, redid it, turned it into apartments. And the last project I worked on before I ended up leaving was a hotel to apartment conversion. It was a newer hotel built in the 60s. That was a little bit simpler, where you could combine 2 hotel rooms and tear out a bathroom, make a bathroom a kitchen. I mean, the generic way of explaining it, that was what that project was more like. So we're doing a lot of different projects. It was just me and 2 brothers. I loved working for them. It was a great time. At the end of the day, it was just different paths of what I wanted and what they wanted. And I wanted to go and build something, and always wanted to go do my own thing. And build a behemoth. And so I left, and I didn't think that my first project would be a big project like the Aladdin.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't think I'd start with developing a duplex by any means, which, by the way, I now know that is probably harder than what I'm doing. Different hard, but it is probably harder. I didn't think I'd jump out and do a $35+ million project, but it was too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just works. I think everyone that is an LP, all the different partners, all the consultants, everyone a part of it, everyone that knows and hears about the project is like, holy cow. I'm like, yeah, all right. That's why I feel comfortable doing so. That's why I sleep good at night.
Yeah. Well,
Kind of.
What does it look like? What did the LPs expect? Are they completely just like, they got to be sold on it, they got to trust you, and then money, they go away? Or are they part of the whole process throughout the planning and the construction?
That's a tricky question. I prefer LPs to be engaged, but to not overstep their boundaries and not be over attentive of hey, so I saw you guys are doing a 4-pipe system. Why'd you guys go with that?
Especially if you got some engineer LP and be
Yeah, it's hey, I'll talk to you about it. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think you should maybe reconsider doing this. All right, that's cool, but no, I trust the team that's behind us doing it.
Yeah.
By the way, I may be the one making the end decision, but I'm not making the decision blindly. I'm going off of the people, the MEP, the architect, the guys that have been doing it for 20+ years, and saying, hey, Zach, we're going to do a 4-pipe. That's the best. Here's what goes on. Cool. All right. Then I'm the one that sends the newsletter out or whatever that says, hey, yeah, we're doing a 4-pipe system. That's how that works. I think I also don't want the other end of it, though. I don't want someone to write me $1 million check and I don't hear from them until I distribute returns. I want them to care. So when we send out our LP investor reports bi-weekly, by the way, we don't do it monthly, we don't do it bi-monthly, we do it bi-weekly, because there's a lot of things going on, especially right now in a development project. There's a lot of things going on, and we share the good, the bad, and the ugly. We say, hey, this is what happened this week that kind of sucked. Here's what happened this week that was really good. Here's what happened this week that's neutral. We want people to respond and be like, hey, that's great. Oh, this problem, I actually know a guy here. Do you have you met with him yet? Okay, no, I haven't. Make an intro. Great. Or, hey, Zach, you guys, I believe you guys what you're doing. This is great. Great update. Let me know if there's anything we can do to help. I mean, we send out, or like I said, bi-weekly, we send out those updates, and I would say 85% respond to the email with either questions, comments, concerns, or feedback. And I like that.
That's great. So that's a good point. And I never thought about is that the LPs, I mean, aside from being a capital resource, are
resources in general.
Yeah. Hey,
that's how you have good LPs. I mean, fun fact, 25% of the LP capital stack is made up by subcontractors on the Aladdin.
No shit.
So people that are doing the work on the project. And I think that speaks volume to the project, where if someone's, for example, let's say they're doing the plumbing, their margins are going to be 5 to 10%. That's just kind of cut and dry. It's what it is. Your margins are your margins. Well, if you think you can do the project under budget, on time, and do a badass job, why the hell would you not invest when 10% of the project, in terms of my budget, is riding on your ass? If you think you can do a good job, then why the hell would you not invest where I can then say, hey, you're making 5 to 10% margins. Let me give you an opportunity to make 25% annually if I'm right. And you're right, and you do a good
no
job.
Returns are guaranteed. And
yeah. Disclaimer. Put that in there. No, but seriously, it's and so almost all of them were like, yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, they're not investing as the company; they're investing as individuals or owners of that firm, whatever it may be, between demo, HVC, electrical, whatever that may look like. It's a win-win though, where they believe in their ability to work, they believe in the project, but even if you have a good pro forma, good returns and all that, at the end of the day, you're still investing in the person. And I think that's what speaks the most volume, is that they, at the end of the day, are still trusting a team that is comprised of some younger individuals running the show. They trust the team, and they trust me and my partners to get the thing done. And that's what I live, breathe, and eat. I should name my last newsletter. I said I should probably just rename myself Aladdin.
Dude, that would be great.
That's all I can talk about.
100% great brand. Who doesn't want to show people the world, But
I have never seen the movie, so I don't. I know. Apparently, I need to watch it.
Where did you? Where did you get the idea of this subcontractor? They could just come to you, or was this, that's clever.
Yeah,
bringing that in.
I've always thought that vertical integration was really important for a plethora of different reasons for any project. Not necessarily understanding, hey, let's ask subs to do so. And it's not like the subs are buying their bids, for example. Like I have a couple of different subs that are subs. I say subs, owners of a company that does, again, throwing out plumbing, that are investors in the deal that aren't doing the plumbing, for example. It was a way to say, hey, do you think you can do a good job? Do you believe in the project? Yada, yada. All right, well then, by the way, do you want to invest? No, you're not buying the bid. Like, just because you invest doesn't mean, all right, cool, there you go. Here you go, Mr. Jones. It's your, here you go. Charge me whatever the hell you want. Obviously, they're incentivized to not do that. But I don't know, it just kind of came to me and just made sense. It's like, well, if the whole project is in a sense kind of riding, especially on the MEP systems, then why are they not putting any skin in the game? Especially me knowing their margins. Their margins, I mean, they're great for what they do. It's a very cash positive business if they're doing well. Those types of business owners are sitting on a lot of free capital, looking to deploy it. They might not be the most educated on where to deploy it. Well, what better place to deploy your own capital, your own hard-earned money, than in the projects that you're doing the work on?
That is, what I intended when I invited you to the spaces that accidentally got me to Atlanta, to talk about and riff on is like these financial instrument ideas, and that basically you've already invented one. It's the idea that somebody might sit on cash but not know the finance behind how to make that work or how to get return on their equity. It's just sitting there.
Well, sure, they might invest in the S&P 500 and all that. They might do that, but if you're let's say you've owned a demo company for 50 years and you're buying S&P 500 stock, ETFs, whatever it may be, but you've made your money and you've made good money being a demo company. What better place to invest than a project, a real estate opportunity that you get the tax benefits, et cetera, but a project that you're working on that you have a chance to make also a financial impact on the outcome of that project? What better way to invest? I mean, that is the definition of vertical integration.
Yeah, you have control on it. There was one guy who's doing like 70 condos out in Miami. I was talking to him, and the contractor he's working with gave him a bridge loan, basically. So the way that worked is, I'm curious your thoughts on this, is the contractor said, hey, similar situation, the business itself sitting on cash, equity, so the return on equity is to provide a low interest rate with no fee, second position, like sort of bridge loan thing, and I guess in exchange for the work itself.
I've heard of that. So I'm working on a couple other projects that I'm not going to get into right now, but one of them, my demo guy was like, hey, I know that you're probably 2 years out from going vertical with this project. I'll do the demo for you right now. That's a site that needs some demo. And he's like, I'll do the demo for you. I'll just hold it, hold the cost, and I'll charge you X percent, and you pay me when the project goes vertical. If it doesn't go vertical, then you have a handshake with me in blood that I'll come and find you and I'll make sure you pay me.
John Wick style.
Yeah.
They come in.
But he's like, hey, I trust that this is going to happen. And by the way, if it doesn't happen, I know the next project, I'll just charge your ass double.
Yeah, there's a few contractors in our area.
But in a sense, that's kind of like the hard money loan situation where it's, hey, I'll front the cost to do it. I'll basically, whatever my labor is, I'll come out of pocket. I'll do it. I'm not going to make anything. And then when you can go vertical and you can actually do something, consider that as LP equity. I'll roll it under the deal.
In this case, they actually funded the cash.
Yeah, and that's cool. Again, there's people don't realize how much money is floating around in the world.
Yeah, it's just there. It's just like
it's there. There's probably, how many people do you think are at CREI Summit? 300?
I don't know. I have no clue. I just found out that we were going to be in Atlanta.
Let's call it 300. I think that's probably a fair guess. I would assume a little bit more. 300. I would guess there is over $100 million of free capital between people here and also the connections that they have. Over $100 million of free capital accessed in 5 days. You're sitting at this conference. That's crazy. And that's probably way underselling it. That's just ready to roll. That's crazy to think about. $100 million. Jesus, I could do a lot of Aladdins.
Yeah, man, that is.
I could do Aladdin. I could do Jasmine. I could do Jafar. I could do all those.
You haven't seen the movie, but you know the characters.
I know the characters. I haven't seen the movie. I know it's about a genie and love and.
Yeah, I play the song on piano for my kids all the time, but The interesting part about the capital, so you're talking about just free capital in the world where they know how to deploy or they want to deploy it. There's
That's what I'm saying. 100 million of like wanting to deploy.
they're ready to. They need to find a home for it. They need to find a Zach or whoever. Like I need somebody I can trust and get my returns, and just so I can sit back and get my retirement paycheck basically. But then there's another category of engineering, architecture, and GCs or other firms that you've described that have it. They don't even know how to use it more creatively for better returns, and like that's just crazy to me.
You know how many GC firms I know that are sitting on $4+ million of cash, just sitting in a money market account collecting 4%? I'm like, that is crazy. Please continue to sit on some of it. Like, definitely do that. But why the hell are you not leveraging that and investing it? I mean, it's just mind-numbing to me. I mean, you look at my net worth; it's like $7.50, excluding this beer right here. But at any given point, I'm going to be overextended for a good duration of my life over the next 10 to 15 years to build and compound what I want to do. And I will sleep just good at night knowing that I'm betting on myself.
Yeah. The best way to do it, you know, when I started Permazip, the engineering firm I run, it's just basically $0. Like my wife and I are just like, let's just live off of if I can work at McDonald's.
Exactly.
And pay my bills. And then just that way there's a zero personal risk on our side and we can put everything into the business. It's not like if you're structuring something similar, which allows you to focus 100% on the deals and just make it about the deals, the returns on the partners and everything. And then you, Zach.
Kind of. I mean, the caveat there is personally guaranteeing loans and stuff, which I'm going to be doing. And again, I sleep good at night knowing that. I won't PG a random thing.
Well, I mean, you can personally guarantee it with Guapo right there. Just say, I got half a beer.
That's what I'm doing with the Aladdin. Obviously, we brought in outside partners to help. Obviously, I didn't go out and get a $20 million loan by myself. I couldn't do that. I have partners, and I have other people that we would give different percentages of the equity to say, hey, we're leaving this project. It's going to work. Do you leave the project? Great. Can you help us sign on the debt? That's a great tool to have. By the way, I made sure in the loan docs that, hey, the first $5 and whatever cents comes out of my pocket because I'm PGing it too. Whatever I got, you're taking mine first.
That's the way to do it. It's just, I mean, that puts the trust there and just putting some skin in the game, I guess, as they say.
For sure. But the upside for the person who's actually PGing it, the upside's astronomical for them if they're right. I mean, if I'm right and they trust me and all that, the upside for them is, okay, you're signing on a dotted line that if you believe in the project and you don't believe it's ever going to foreclose, then great. You have infinite upside. Because I'm paying you for a signature. The caveat of that, though, is there's going to be deals that go bad. There's going to be deals that go south. That's why I encourage when I talk to different potential investors, it's like, I would rather have you put $100,000 in my next 10 deals than $1 million in the first one. Take that with a grain of salt. The Aladdin, I would have, different.
Different.
Yeah, I would have encouraged the other way. But we're full on that one, so we're good.
Yeah.
But still, like, because there's going to be deals that maybe not go bad, but that are not going to be as good as you might think. Some macro trends might happen that, oh God, inflation isn't under control.
Yeah.
Certain person gets elected president and rates go up 50 bips, right? I mean, we just don't know. Everyone's acting like, oh, rates are going to go down at least 100 bips over the next 7 months. I go, cool. Do you have a fucking magic ball that I don't know about?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that.
Yeah, job reports.
Do I think that rates will go down a little bit? Sure. But I'm not raising funds on that. I raise funds on what is happening right now. And if it maths right now, I firmly believe that right now, over the next 3 years, is the best buying and building opportunity that the country will see over the next decade plus. I firmly believe that. And that is coming from someone with very little experience and yada yada. So please, anyone listening, and also you guys, take it with a grain of salt. But I know I'm going to be right. It just is. Construction costs are not getting any lower. Interest rates might go up a little bit over the next decade. Who knows? But if interest rates go up, that's a bigger macro problem that affects more than just development and real estate. And in a housing shortage, in a housing crisis that we're in right now, it's not going to get any better. If you can build something for relatively cheap, it's not cheap by any means, it's very expensive still. But if you can build something right now, I firmly believe that you are going to be, as the developer, as the investor, and as anybody a part of the project, going to be sitting in a very good situation in the next 10 years. Firmly believe that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to build as much as I fucking can right.
Yes, it's the time to do it.
Still got math. Still has to math.
Yeah. And how does it math? I mean, what does that mean to you when you
for different
I
markets.
know you talk about
everything,
unlevered
yield on cost.
cost.
Yeah, unlevered yield on cost is a big metric I look at, especially just talking purely Kansas City. I'd like 6.5. I'm strike zone. I'm ready to roll. But that 6.5% unlevered yield on cost, so no debt. For people that don't know unlevered yield on cost, that's assuming no debt financing. With the 6.5% unlevered yield on cost, I want to see untrended rent. So I want to say, what are you getting in a rent for an apartment right now? Like, is it $1,100? Great. Do you think in 2 years when the project's done, are you getting $1,200? Great. That's cool. Don't put that. I don't want to see that. I want the 1,100. I want the 1,100. That's what the 6.5% unlevered yield on cost is. If you juice the rents and trend it, so they call, then yeah, you're probably at like a 7. But that's a guess. That is you betting and guessing on what are the macro trends, what is going to be happening, what are rates going to look like, what does rent growth look like, what does this. My job as the developer and the guy with other people's funds and my own, my job is to limit the amount of exposure that someone has. There's going to be exposure and there's going to be things that I don't see, that I can't guess and know upon at a given moment. My job is to limit the amount of those that's possible. And one of those things is by not trending rents and saying, oh, well, I think it's going to do this. And then raising funds off of that.
Is that part of the exit cap rate?
Yeah, you can raise funds on the first part of it and say, hey, by the way, these are untrended. Here's where I think it's going to happen, but I'm not raising funds on this IRR or this equity multiple. Here's what it is right now.
Yeah, I'm supposed to cut it right now, but so the idea is all the hard costs and then all of the untrended income, and like that's the unlevered.
And soft costs and all that. All the hard, soft. Total project cost divided by net operating income.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I Googled it because you said that on a Spaces, and I was like, unlevered yield on Google, and then
I know what that means.
yeah, I know. I can talk about this. I appreciate you bringing that up because it is an interesting metric. I think Moses talks about it as well.
Moses is awesome.
Yeah, and just a lot here. Unfortunately, I do have to go to some other thing. I would love to talk.
I told you, I warned you before. I could talk for hours. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Damn it. This was a great conversation,
awesome.
Jack. Yeah, I really appreciate it. We'll have to do this again sometime. We'll come down to the Aladdin.
You guys are coming down to Kansas City. You guys are coming to the Aladdin.
Yeah, man. We'll bring the old permit fit. We got a Honda Fit. We'll just drive the permit fit down that way.
I love it. I'm in. I'm in.
Just get a cool scene wherever you want, man. And if you want to we can have up to one more guest if you want somebody to just riff with us. Like,
I'm in. Yeah, I'll bring one of my partners.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah, man. Thank you, Zach Molzer.
Thank you guys. Casey Molzer on Twitter.
Yep.
And MolzerDevelopment.com.
All right. Hell yeah. Shout out Kansas City. We gave you sort of a Kansas City color right there on your mic, but
orange?
Yeah, ish.
What the hell is
it's close. We had green and blue, I think, are the other
orange
options.
Is better.
Yeah. That's what we chose.
I've got a red beard.
There we go. All right, we tried. All right, brother.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Godspeed.
Yeah, man.